Good afternoon, everyone. We'll begin the session now. Firstly, I would like to welcome Mr. Shashwat and Mr. Shashwat. He is currently working as an analyst with the Ministry of Power, where he contributes to the research and policy development projects for renewable energy and power sectors. So he has completed his MTech in renewable energy engineering and management from Terry School of Advanced Studies, where he bagged a gold medal for his exceptional academic achievement. He has specialized knowledge in energy modeling, sustainability, and efficiency initiatives, and has been actively involved in organizing workshops and contributing to national level energy programs. And we are honored to have him here with us today, and we look forward to an insightful session. So, over to you, Mr. Shashwat.
Thank you, Rishi. Thank you for this warm introduction. Let me know which all courses are there, like students from which all courses are attending this session.
Students from all the courses are there,
All
especially
right.
from management studies. They are there.
Oh, that's nice. I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Sure, let's begin. So, hi everyone, welcome to the session. So, about for next hour and so, we are going to talk about something that has changed the way I solve the problems, and it can definitely change how you can solve your problems too. The session for today's topic is design thinking and critical thinking. By the end of this session, you'll have a simple framework that works for everything from designing a product to solving a policy. So, let me start with this question. Why do most great ideas fail? A great idea does not necessarily mean that you'll have a successful outcome. Like in this Venn diagram, I've tried to show that you might have seen an amazing app that nobody uses, a brilliant policy that does not work in real life, a startup with a perfect pitch that goes nowhere. In this Venn diagram, that explains the very same thing. You have validation, you need feasibility, and you need user understanding. The union of these three rings will tell you the exact place where the innovation needs to happen and where the innovation is. Most ideas don't fail because they are bad, they fail because they are incomplete. They are either too creative without logic or they're too logical without being creative. So I'll give you a real world example from my work. So we were uh, we were asked to design a renewable energy policy for the farmers. On we designed a policy. On paper, it was perfect. We were giving incentives, we were giving subsidies, training programs, everything a farmer could want, right? But when we launched it, almost nobody used it. So what was the reason? Why no one used it? So in that thing, when we looked at, so there were two core things that were missing. And that's the exact topic of today's presentation, design thinking and critical thinking. In the design thinking, we didn't empathize with the farmers. The farmers we designed it for, they didn't even know that this scheme existed. They don't know how to access it. The application process was too complex for them. And like like affordability was also another challenge. So we didn't empathize with them. Secondly, we didn't validate our assumptions. We assumed that policy was good because it looked good on paper. We didn't ask ourselves the hard question that whether is it really affordable? Is the process too complex and will it work in a village? So that's where our topic comes in. If we have used both design thinking and critical thinking, we might have succeeded. So first up is the design thinking. Design thinking is not about making things look pretty. It's about solving real problems, understanding the people first. It starts with the empathy first approach. Most people do it the opposite. They have an idea and then they build around it. You might have known many startups that they're working on this. They have an idea and they are creating a problem from that idea. They are not additive in nature. They are either substitutive in nature. So design thinking flips it. In design thinking, we understand people first and then we build it. There are five stages to this. starting with empathizing. One need to talk to the people. You watch them, you listen to their frustrations, their dreams, their constraints, and then you get to see the world through their eyes. It's it's not just a simple survey. You have to spend time, or you have to be the real user yourself. Secondly, you need to define. You, you need to know what you have learned. Write it down. Build upon the problem. Ask 10 people, multiple people about the same problem. Next is you have to ideate. You generate a lot of ideas without any being judgmental. Then prototype. You have to build quick and rough. Build something that is innovative. Build something that is creative. Just simple, real enough. That is enough. People can touch it, use it, or react to it. It's not like you have to design the world's best website. A rough best website will also do. And lastly, you need to test it. You put it in front of real users and watch what happens. You listen, you iterate, and then you go back to the first step. Actually, this is not a simple flow chart as it seems. That you might have to go back from step three back to step one. That's normal and that is good. All right. We'll start with this simple activity. I'm going to give you a scenario, and I want you to think like a designer for a moment. So the scenario is you have to design a better water bottle for the students in long lectures. No, I'm not mentioning about you guys, but other students. So here's the catch. You don't have to jump to the solution yet. Let's start with the approach that I have just said. Let's start with the empathy. So what frustrates the students during lecture? Is it their water getting warm? Is it that they're forgetting to bring a bottle? Is it like the bottle is too expensive? Or like when do they want to drink? Is it at specific times or is it like throughout, like in every 5-10 minutes? Or what are their real constraints? Is it cost? Is it space? Is it time? Are they feeling the desk is too small or is it the weight also? Like, will it make their bag heavy? That's the personal reason that I don't carry. So, what could actually make their day better? Take 2 minutes and think about this. I want you to share, like, if you have some insights, you might share in the chat, and then till then we can continue. There's another example from my work. It's a biomass project. So in this, I have used the design thinking as one of approach towards solving my problem, wherein we have to create an policy in which we create employment opportunities for women in biomass supply chain. This was for power generation. And if you think, like I personally thought that it is being obvious, you just train women, give them job, and it's a job done. But when I use design thinking approach instead of that, I went to villages, done field surveys. I talked to multiple women, not just a formal service setting. I sat with them, asked them what their problems are, and I found out that my assumptions was completely wrong. Women didn't just want jobs; they want jobs where they have flexibility, where we can manage household and childcare support along with it. If I've gone by the just the way that I thought, then it would be a completely different approach. And the result we found out that the techno-economic barriers and innovation gaps, along with the social barriers, were the one of the reasons for this thing. And we published the same findings in the Just Energy Transition Summit as well. So the key insight from this thing I want to tell is empathy changes everything. All right. So design thinking gives you empathy and ideas. But here's the real problem. No, not every idea that makes someone happy will actually work. This is where critical thinking comes in. Critical thinking is about questioning, analyzing, and validating. It is about asking, is it actually true? Is this actually feasible? Or what could go wrong? Here are 5 key steps in this approach, starting with questioning. You don't accept anything at its face value. You ask, why do you believe this? What's the evidence? And what if someone is wrong? Then you analyze it, break the problem down into the components. What are the pieces? How they fit together? Next, you evaluate, you judge the quality of your information, the credibility of the sources, the credibility of the data, or like is it a proven fact or someone's opinion? Next, you reason, you think logically, or like is there any hidden assumptions in that reasoning? Then, lastly, you decide based on your analysis what's the right call. You can defend it with your evidence. Again, this is also not a straight line. You might evaluate something, find it is weak. Then you go back again to the initial assumptions and you redraw the drawing board again. Now, continuing from the previous activity, from the water bottle activity, let's get critical now. You you might came up with some ideas that would make students happy, but now you have to question them. Here's what I want to ask yourself. Like, is it actually affordability for students? That's the problem. Like, what if the bottle breaks? Can it be manufactured at a scale? Does it need special materials? Like, where do you find the sources? Can you build it cheaply? You need to question, you need to come up with as many questions as possible. And will the students actually use it? You have to, in this critical thinking approach, one has to ask these difficult questions. You might realize your idea doesn't work. Many places it might not work. And that's good. It's better to kill it early than waste months and money building something that nobody wants or nobody can't afford. That is where the critical thinking. It is not pessimism, it is being smart. Okay, here's the one thing, the power duo. That's the whole crux of this presentation. Design thinking alone will not give you beautiful ideas that don't. Design thinking alone will give you beautiful ideas that don't work. Critical thinking alone will give you only analysis with no innovation. And together is what we aim for. Look at the contrast. Like on the design thinking, you ask, what if? And in the critical thinking, you ask, is it actually true? In design thinking, it is about creating possibilities. In critical thinking, you evaluate the reality. Design thinking being the user focused and critical thinking being the logical focused. They seem opposite in the first instance, but they are not. They are complementary in nature. Let me tell you how it works. You start with design thinking. You understand users, you generate ideas, you are in a creative mode. That is the design thinking. Now you come to the critical thinking. You analyze the feasibility, return on investment, what are the possible risks in that. Then you are in the analytical mode. And here's the joining part of both of them, that you might find that your beautiful idea isn't feasible. So you go back to again to design thinking and ideate differently. Then you test with critical thinking again. It's like a cycle. It is like I've told you initially, it is not just a straight line, it's a cycle. The best innovators that I personally know, they move fluid between these two modes. They are creative and analytical at the same time. They dream and they questions their dream as well. So that is where the key thing lies. Here's the one line I want you to remember. You might take a screenshot of this. That design thinking helps you create ideas. Critical thinking helps you not to create bad ones. Together is where the real innovation happens. That's it. That's the power duo. Here's a framework you can use for any problem you're facing. You start with research and empathizing. That is the designing phase. You go talk to people, you take multiple interviews, you understand people's real issues. Just understand here that one has not to assume things here. Secondly, you define problems. You write down the problems. What are the real problems? It's not about that I assume that students want better water bottles or cheap water bottles. But students want to keep water cold for like multiple hours. without adding weight to their bag. So that is how you define the exact problem that you want to solve. Step three is ideate. You generate a lot of ideas with no criticism. Let the ideas flow. So personally, there's a book that I've read. It's called Zero to One. That book will help you in creating a lot of ideas. Step four is evaluating critically. One has to develop a scoring matrix and score each ideas is like based on feasibility. Can one actually build this based on its impact? Will it solve any problem? Based on its effort, how hard is it? Keep it to like few in number, like five or. And lastly, you build and test. Make a rough prototype, show it to users, get feedback, iterate, and if it's not working, again go back to step one, following the cycle. There is no need to waste multiple months or like multiple years on a bad idea. It's better to kill it initially. There's a quick hits on what not to do. Solving the wrong problem. This means if you're solving the wrong problem, you have skipped the empathy phase. You assume multiple things that are not coming out to be true. Now you're solving something that nobody cares about. You're just adding a solution to the problem that you have created, not the other way around. You fall in love with your first idea. You are doing no critical evaluation. You thought of an idea and then you build on that idea, you're doing everything. Third, it's analysis paralysis. You're too busy in analyzing that you never built anything real. Sometimes you just need to prototype and see are the real things. Next, it can be that you didn't question your own assumptions. You're probably wrong about something. Stay curious. Lastly, you have ignored your user feedback. You think you know better, but you don't. So the golden rule is iterate quickly. Perfect is the enemy of good. Lastly, three key takeaways that I want you to remember. First, always understand your user. Empathy beats assumptions every time. Second, always question assumptions. Evidence beats feelings every time. Lastly, balance creativity with logic. Both together is where the innovation actually happens. Coming back to the initial slide, where you can see all together is where the innovation really happens, the union. You're going to solve problems in your whole life, in your college, in your career, maybe in your startup, in your personal life. You use both these frameworks and you'll be ahead from most of the people. Now it's your turn. Pick up any one of the problem that you're facing. It could be academic, it could be personal, it could be something you observe around you. You empathize first. Talk to someone affected and listen them really well. Third, you challenge your assumptions. What if you're wrong? Prototype and test quickly. And lastly, iterate based on your feedback. Start applying this from today onwards. Pick, pick something small if you want. Like you'll start to notice how naturally both design thinking and critical thinking, you're able to use your natural assumptions in a much more effective manner. All right, that was the core message. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you have any questions, any challenges, a problem that you are facing from the workshop? The floor is open.
I think that would be all. So, on behalf of CT Institution, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Mr. Shashwat Datta for sharing his valuable knowledge and insights with us today. And your expertise and guidance have truly made the session very informative and inspiring. So, thank you so much for your time and contribution, sir.